Hello guys and welcome to my chapter review for chapter 276 of Tokyo Revengers. And the title for chapter 276 is called, Get Over. In this chapter we get to see the consequences of Takemichi's death, and we also find out what happened to Takemichi. And in this video I will talk about chapter 276 of Tokyo Revengers. And just to let you guys know, yesterday I got 2 copyright strikes on my channel, and they deleted my most viewed video ever, and because of this, it is possible that my channel could be terminated soon. But before I get into this video guys, please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more Tokyo Revengers videos. In this chapter there are many important moments that take place, and I think that we will definitely get to see some big reveals in the next 2 chapters. Because we already know that Tokyo Revengers is ending in only 2 chapters, and soon we will get to witness the end of the story. The last chapter ended with showing us the conclusion of Mikey's epic battle with Takemichi, and the battle ended with Mikey's curse killing Takemichi. And then we all saw that Takemichi died in Mikey's arms. However, before dying, Takemichi tried to time leap by shaking hands with Mikey, however their time leap did not work. At the beginning of this chapter, all of the Toman members are reacting to Takemichi's death, and they are all crying. When Mikey realizes that he killed Takemichi, Mikey started breaking down into tears. Throughout this arc, Mikey has been completely emotionless, but in this scene he finally cries in front of everyone, and he showed everyone his emotions. All of the Toman members are devastated to see this gruesome scene, and all of them are crying. And Mikey wanted to rest his head on Takemichi, and while he is crying, Mikey confirms that he was doing all of this to protect Takemichi, and Mikey reveals that he pushed Takemichi away because he wanted to protect him from the curse. And this moment really reminds me of how Mikey was crying after the death of his mother, because after the death of his mother, Mikey was breaking down into tears in the exact same way. And this also reminds me of Mikey's reaction to Shinichiro's death, because after the death of Shinichiro, we saw that Mikey was crying in the exact same way. Mikey was so distraught after the death of Shinichiro, and Mikey's reaction to Takemichi's death really shows that Mikey sees Takemichi as his own brother. Mikey has lost so many people up to this point, and Mikey wanted to push all of his loved ones away, and he wanted to protect everyone from the curse. And this panel where Mikey is crying is a very emotional moment to witness. Anyway guys, in the next scene we find out that the time leaping power has been activated, and the time leap actually worked. In this last chapter many people believed that Takemichi died, and because of this, many fans were very sad. But in this chapter we learned that he was actually able to survive by time leaping back to the past. And I think that Mikey also time leaped at the exact same time that Takemichi did, because at the end of this chapter, we saw that Mikey recognized Takemichi. And another reason why I think Mikey is also a time leaper is because Mikey had a very intense regret for killing Takemichi, and we know from Naoto that the time leaper has to have an intense desire to change the past in order for the time leap to be successful. And since Mikey recognized Takemichi, this shows that Mikey still has his memories from the future timeline. And also, there is this panel where Shinichiro says that Mikey has been sleeping for a long time, and I think the reason why is because Mikey is taking a long time to process the fact that he just time traveled, and I think that Mikey is probably still in shock since this is his very first time leap, and I think this is why he has been in his room for so long. Even though he has time leaped many times, it still took Takemichi a while to understand the fact that he just time leaped, so I think that the same thing probably happened to Mikey. And we also saw that it took Shinichiro a long time to process the fact that he just time leaped, so it would make sense for this to happen to Mikey. And since Takemichi's time leap was successful, this means that a new timeline was created, and in this timeline Takemichi wakes up as a small child, and he is laying down in his bed. This is the last time leap that will ever be shown in the story, and this time leap also has a lot of parallels to his first time leap. For example, we saw Takemichi immediately ran to Mikey's house, and he also rang Mikey's doorbell, and he did the same thing with Hinata during his first time leap. And when he got up, Takemichi wonders what just happened, because Takemichi is still processing the fact that he just time traveled. Takemichi also noticed a calendar on the wall, and the calendar said that the year is 1998, and when he saw the calendar, Takemichi realized that he traveled 10 years back in time. And this is the first time in the story that we have ever seen a double time leap, and this was a really big plot twist, and because of this Takemichi has the opportunity to save everyone that died. And then we see that Takemichi got out of bed, and he went into the bathroom. However, when he saw his reflection, Takemichi became surprised, because he just realized that he is in the body of a child. Takemichi then started thinking about Mikey, and he started running to Mikey's house, because he wanted to see if Mikey was alive. And when he arrived at Mikey's house, Takemichi was confronted by Baji, and Baji had just arrived at Mikey's house. Takemichi recognized Baji, and Takemichi thought about his memories of Baji, and he remembered when he first met Baji. Baji looks like he is annoyed with Takemichi, and when Baji approached Takemichi, Baji asked Takemichi what business does he have with Mikey, and Baji also said that he would attack Takemichi depending on his answer. Baji is ready to pick a fight with Takemichi, and Baji wants to punish Takemichi for showing up at Mikey's house. And then Baji decided to punch Takemichi in the face with a right hook, and in this panel we see that Baji looks like he is angry. After being attacked by Baji, Takemichi fell to the ground, and he is now sitting on the floor. I am sure that many fans will be happy to see that Baji is alive again, because Baji is a fan favorite character. And Baji is such a popular character that he even ranked number 3 in the Tokyo Revengers popularity poll. Anyway guys, in the next scene of this chapter we see that Emma arrived, and Emma is scolding Baji, and Emma tells Baji to not fight in front of other people's houses. We see that Emma reprimanded Baji, and this was a funny moment to witness. I really enjoy seeing Emma's character interactions with Baji, and I hope we get to see more of this in the future. A few moments later, we see that Shinichiro also arrived, and Shinichiro asked Baji what is happening so early in the morning, and Shinichiro remarks that they are being very noisy. Takemichi immediately recognizes Shinichiro and Emma, and he sees that Shinichiro is smoking a cigarette. Takemichi is still processing everything that happened because he is still shocked that he suddenly got teleported to another timeline, and Takemichi is just staring at everyone. After walking into the room, Shinichiro pats Emma on the head, and we get to see this quality family moment between the Sano siblings. And in this chapter we get to see Shinichiro showing love to Emma by patting her on the head. I really enjoy seeing these wholesome moments where they show us the relationship between the Sano siblings, and I would like to see more of their character dynamics in the future. We know that after the death of their mother, Shinichiro is the one who raised Emma and Mikey, and because of this, the Sano siblings have a very strong bond, and they all love each other very much. Shinichiro also noticed that Sanzu arrived, and in this chapter Sanzu is also at Mikey's house. In this timeline Sanzu doesn't have the 2 scars on his face, and it looks like Sanzu is attending school, because we see that he is wearing a backpack. Baji starts talking to Sanzu, and he tells Sanzu that if he was here earlier then they could have beaten up Takemichi together. However, Sanzu is not interested in fighting Takemichi, and Sanzu just asks Shinichiro where Mikey went. We learn that Mikey is currently sleeping, and Shinichiro yells out for Mikey, and he tells Mikey to wake up. Shinichiro, Sanzu, Emma, and Baji are all crowding around Takemichi, and they are all staring at him, and Takemichi is sitting on the floor. We know that Baji, Sanzu, Senju, and Mikey are all childhood friends, and in this chapter we get to see them hanging out. However, the only person who we don't see is Senju, and this makes me wonder if we will get to see Senju in the next few chapters. Anyway guys, in the next scene we learn that Mikey is currently sleeping, and Shinichiro yells out for Mikey, and he tells Mikey to wake up. Shinichiro, Sanzu, Emma, and Baji are all crowding around Takemichi, and they are all staring at him, and Baji asks Takemichi what is his name. Anyway guys, at the end of this chapter we get to see Mikey, and in this scene Mikey approached Takemichi, and Mikey started talking to Takemichi. And Mikey asks Takemichi what is his name. Takemichi was only a couple seconds away from dying during his battle with Mikey, and Takemichi thought that he would never see Mikey again, so in this moment when he got to see Mikey, Takemichi started tearing up, because he was so happy to see his best friend. However, when Mikey gets closer to Takemichi, Mikey suddenly recognizes Takemichi, and Mikey just says Takemichi's name. We get to see Takemichi's reaction, and when he saw Mikey, Takemichi was shocked and he was very confused to hear that Mikey knew his name. Takemichi thinks to himself that they have never met before. And he wonders how Mikey knows his name. Takemichi is also on the verge of tears, and he is so thankful to see everyone alive in the future, and he is very relieved that everyone is safe. Anyway guys, the fact that Mikey recognized Takemichi could mean that Mikey retained all of his memories from the future timeline, and this also means that Mikey probably time leaped at the exact same time that Takemichi did, and this means that Mikey is also a time leaper. However, we don't know how much Mikey knows, and we don't know if he still remembers his battle with Takemichi. But the fact that Mikey knows Takemichi is a big hint that Mikey is a time leaper, because the only way that he would recognize Takemichi is if he still has memories from the future. And in the next chapter we will get to see Mikey talking to Takemichi, and I am looking forward to hearing their conversation. Anyway guys, that was it for my chapter review of chapter 276 of Tokyo Revengers. Also let me know what you guys think of the chapter in the comments below. And like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one, and thank you for watching.